So good evening viewers, I'm back again with a video, and this time we want to talk about a bale, or the bale that you just bought. After buying a bale, what should you do? So I have three things that you must consider, or you must think about before you open that bale, or after opening that bale, before the customers begin to arrive. The first one, always have in mind the capital. The money that you use to buy that bale, have it in your mind, because that is the money that you must bring back to enable you get another bale. Number two, have in mind the type of customers you have, the ability of your customers to buy, the purchasing power of your customers. Number three, ensure that you divide that bale into three parts. The first part is going to be your first camera, second part, second camera, and the third part, the waist. I like divide them into three parts: first camera, second camera, and the waist, or the fagia. Three parts. Now, I'm going to discuss those three areas one by one. The first one, capital. You must be very careful when you are selling your first camera, because the first camera that you separated from your bale is your capital. Ensure that when you finish, when you sell, or when you are done selling the camera, you should have your capital in your pocket. Number two, don't be friendly when you are selling your camera to your friends, because friends historically have caused so many people to close their businesses, because they come, take your goods in debt, they don't pay at the right time, and therefore it's going to force you to seek for an alternative of getting another capital. And therefore, don't be friendly when you are selling your camera, first camera, to your friends. If they cannot buy in cash, pay you. Don't sell to them. If they are going to buy and they are going to put a deposit, which should always be a half or more than a half, don't allow them walk out of your shop with those clothes without finishing them, finishing the payment. Mark that one. Because if you do that, you're on your way to closing that shop, or you're going to finish yourself in that business. I don't know if that's the correct English to use. Next, even if you have been paid a half or more than a half, and the payment is not finished, don't allow yourself to keep the clothes for more than 12 hours. If 12 hours elapses, sell those clothes to someone who's going to give you the money. You refund your friend who was not willing to finish, because you must set the rules. You tell them, I'm going to keep these clothes for you after paying half of the money, but again, remember, ensure that you come and clear the payments within 12 hours. If 12 hours is going to pass without communication from them, ensure you get your money. The idea of you doing a business is not to please your friends. The idea of you operating that business is to make profits. And I repeat, godly profits, not absurd ones where you exaggerate, no, godly profits. So if they're not going to pay you within the agreed time, sell those clothes, get your capital. Because what we are talking about here is your first camera. If you don't sell it and get your capital, you're not going to get that money. Take it from me. You're not going to get that money, my friend. So ensure that you sell your camera to the people who are going to buy them immediately. By the time you are selling your camera, or by the time you are finished selling your camera, you should have your capital in your pocket. So the first camera should give you your capital without touching the second camera. And if you're going to fall short in your first camera, ensure that the second camera, when you touch the second camera, is going to give you, you already have your capital, so that the remainder of the second camera and the fagure becomes your profit. That's how you calculate or you get money into mitumba business. I am not saying that you keep the second camera away from customers while selling the first camera. No. You know how you have classified your clothes. Just put them in one place. But you know, in this one is my camera. I'm going to sell it at 800 or 600 or 500. This is my second camera. I'm selling at 200 or 300. But you have marked all your clothes. That is how it is done. So I'm repeating. When you open that bale, classify the bale into 3 categories. The first category is the first camera, second camera, and the third one. I call the third one faggy because when I do a classification of a bale, I do it thorough. And I'm repeating, your first camera should give you your capital. Zile ulichagua mzuri za kwanza inakupatia pesa yako ya biashara. The third camera, the second camera should be your profit and the fagir. That's how you get money from mitumba. The next category is how you should know your market. Know your market. There's something we call the buying power or the purchasing power of your clients. You're in a region where goods, even people buy mafuta at 20 bob, 30 bob. You're not going to sell clothes at that area at around 800. They will not buy it. So you must know your customers. What is their ability to buy? You're going to play with that psychology. And that again will take you to which type of a bale are you supposed to buy for the people around you. If your clients are somehow people who are at the lowest part of the triangle, ensure that you look for a bale that is going to sell at around 100 bob, 50, at most 150. Know your customers well before you begin to open that bale. Because you bring an expensive bale, for example, I'm going to give an example. You are in somewhere like a town, especially let me give an example of Gilgil, where people prefer buying clothes at 100 or 200. Of course, you'll find people buying clothes at 800, but there are not many. So you are supposed to get a bale that is going to give you a selling price of that area. They're going to afford all of them. So you should know your customers well before you even bring that bale. But you've already bought it, you must play with that psychology of your customers. Know them. On knowing your customers and you're operating a shop, ensure you know all your customers. Master their behaviors. For example, someone will come into your shop. They will come making stories. They want to touch one cloth to the next one. And you know, historically, they are not buying from you. They rather come to your shop, make stories, fit all clothes, but they walk out and buy from someone else at a very high price. Know your customers very well. And I'm not saying you treat people I'm not saying you treat people badly, but you're supposed to master the character of the people working in your shop, because most of these your customers will be regular customers coming into your shop. Very few will be walking in for the first time. Some will be returning customers. You should mark them and know them, how they behave, so that when you want to sell, you know, this one, if I do this, it will behave like this. But again, business is about psychology. It's a reverse psychology. that you're going to play with your customers. So that is basically what you're supposed to do. We have talked about dividing the bill into 3 parts. When you're selling this bill, ensure that you sell your camera to give you your capital back. Your profits are going to come from the second camera and the third camera. Don't be friendly selling to your friends, because they are going to make you close that shop as soon as possible if they are not going to pay you. In a business, it's always a business. Ensure it is business with your friends. For those who are watching us for the first time, kindly please subscribe so that you can get more of these videos. For the returning customers, please like us, share with your friends so that you can reach 100 mark of subscribers within 1 week. We are coming back with a video discussing the role of M-Pesa in businesses, because you realize that M-Pesa is nowadays not a standing alone business. People do it besides other businesses. So that is going to be our next discussion. Until next time, kindly subscribe. Until we meet again, God bless you.